Hey y'all, welcome to Uniquely Vintage You. My name is Michelle and my sister Cheryl. We welcome you to our channel. Friends, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. So here are some of the images of some of the places that I've already decorated, and I can't wait to share all these spaces with you. So I really hope if you like this content, you'll consider subscribing to our channel, giving us a thumbs up, hitting the bell notification so you won't miss one of our videos. I have lots of vintage Christmas that I want to share with y'all. Friends, last week I decorated my entry table and I did it in a nativity scene. So if you missed that video, I will have it linked for you in the description below. I just wanted to start off my Christmas decorating honoring our Lord and putting Him first. Now that I've done that, I want to move on because I've got lots of vintage goodness that I want to use. I love collecting vintage Christmas, and so these are some of the items that I'm going to use on the other table by my front door. I love decorating this area. There's some places I keep the same from year to year, but then I always try to change up other places. So I hope that you will sit back and enjoy this video and let me share some of my vintage Christmas with you today. Friends, some of these things I've had for such a long time, I really don't remember where they came from. I know this was something that I thrifted many years ago, and you will see it says 79 cents. That is such a bargain. I recently saw one in the antique store, and I believe the same one was $35. So always look if you're thrifting for vintage Christmas. And here's another piece. I'm not sure where he came from either, and that's really the case for most of this. I'm not sure, but I'm so glad that I have these pieces. I love them, and they're so fun to get out and display each year. Friends, I absolutely adore the graphics, the old graphics on Christmas and all the old holidays. They are so pretty. And so I actually got these cards. I remember a box of them on eBay, and when they came, the box was so amazing and it had got crushed in the mail, and so he just refunded me my money. But I was so sad because it was so amazing. So I'm going to share with you a few of those cards in this video, and then I will have some spread throughout my home as well. Now I also am a huge Santa mug girl. I love these. I've had many of these for many years, all of these little ones. Some of them actually say I think 55 cents on the bottom of them. They've mostly probably been thrifted at the thrift store, but I adore these, and most of them say Japan, so I was just so glad to have all these. They used to be a lot easier to find, I think, than they are right now, but I'm glad that I already have a pretty good collection. Now I love setting these mugs right here, and I do this year after year. And I've tried moving around to other places, but this is my favorite place to display them. They just fit so perfectly. And all I've done is just add little different things inside each mug, like an old light bulb, a Christmas bulb, a piece of gingerbread. See, 49 cents. What a deal. And what an amazing deal, right? Oh my goodness. But anyway, you can just see I've also collected a lot of things that you would make corsages with. And so I just love adding all these little unique special things inside these mugs. They make perfect little display pieces. These sweet bells are another thing that I just adore. I just love getting them out year after year, and I try to be so careful because I don't want to break one. They're just so, so pretty. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just add this little tiny deer, and yes, he lost his ear, but I glued him right back on, and I think he's just as precious as he was before. We have to have Rudolph with our Santa. Okay, I love this Santa plate. It's a Joseph original, which I didn't know what that was until I started my channel. And many of you, I think it was Miss Jean that told me what it was. And so I'm just so appreciative to have so many friends on here that share their wealth and knowledge about vintage and antique pieces. So I'm always so blessed by y'all and your kindness in sharing your knowledge with me. But I love this, and I love pulling it out each year. Friends, here's another one of those cards. I think this is my favorite of all. Aren't these snowmen absolutely precious? This card is just beautiful. I wish they would make things like this again. The graphics are just truly amazing. So since I have this little snowman card, I thought it'd be cute to add a few of the vintage snowmen that I have collected. I thrifted this one, he's 79 cents. And then the next one is actually my favorite. He is so adorable. I just love him so much. There was only one of them at the thrift store, but look how cute he is. That sweet little face. He's a salt and pepper shaker, I believe. And then I want to show you the smallest bottle brush tree that I have ever found. I found it at an antique store for a couple of dollars, and I had to have it because I love collecting bottle brush trees. So I grabbed that, and then I want to show you this little tiny snowman, and it was thrifted in one of those baggies just full of junk. And so I was thrilled to see this because this one is marked Germany on the bottom. So here's one more card that was in that collection that I bought, and I think this is precious too. So I thought it would be fun to kind of put it behind some of my display and let that 25 peek through. So I kind of just put it under the shelf so it would stick just a little bit, and now let me add everything back in place. So the next thing that I wanted to create, I wanted some snow. So I'm actually going to just shake some snow out of this box. It has never been opened, but it is lifting on one end. So I'm just going to go ahead and shake a little bit out onto my mirror, and that way it'll be easy cleanup. I can just throw this away, or maybe I can resave it and put it in a bag and save it. But I just think this adds such a pretty touch. Friends, this Harold Gale Santa is one of my favorites, and I have embellished it because he came plain, but this is a corsage right there, and I added some of those mercury picks to the side. I had this little bottle brush tree, and I just added these vintage bells. And made him all decked out, and I just love the way he turned out. I've actually done that to all of my Harold Gale Santas. I have quite a few. I love them, and so, but this one is my absolute favorite. So I always put him front and center by the door. I have many obsessions for Christmas between the old Santas and bottlebush trees and mercury glass bulbs and shiny brights and on and on. But these flocked trees with this really thick flock have my heart. I think they're beautiful. And this was just a tree that I bought, and then I just embellished it with all of these little vintage bulbs. And so I thought that was so pretty. Now this one I actually bought like this, and so it gave me the idea to do mine. But I love having these. They're so fun to display. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, and they just add that perfect vintage touch. So this Santa little container is another one of my absolute favorites, and I remember I got him on eBay. He is made in Japan. I got him many years ago, but I absolutely love him, and I always do the same thing. I put this bottle brush tree inside his chimney, and I just think it's gorgeous. And so let's put him on that table as well. So I have just a few more things that I want to try to incorporate over here in this shelf. And friends, yes, I am a maximalist times 10 when it comes to Christmas decor. I have a really small home, and so I like to pack as much of it in there so I can see it each year. And so if that's not your vibe, I completely understand. I know sometimes in this small house everything seems a little overwhelming, but I so enjoy it, and so really and truly that's all that matters. I'm showing you that is a 5-cent little ornament hooks thing that I got at an estate sale. And then of course this Santa pin is another favorite. I used to have one when I was a child. My mother got my sister Tammy and I both one. I remember you would pull the bell and his nose would light up, and oh, I loved him so much. So I had to add this to my collection. He is definitely one of my favorites. Did you guys ever have a pin like this? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. This sweet little angel was something else that I found in just a bag of goodies, and sadly she's broken, and this is Lefton. It's the only one I have. I wish I had more of these, but I just glued her little arm back together, and I just use her as a tree topper, and I think she's absolutely precious. I believe these are pine cone ornaments. I've never seen any like this before. They have the little mercury beads in there, but I'm just going to take these and just add them to my display. I have just a few more touches of this really old Santa. I love him as well. He's sitting in one of those little light reflectors that you would put on your trees. I love having those to use. And so that will round out my display on my table. Now let's decorate underneath. So this is a box of bubble lights that I found at a garage sale, and I grabbed it, and this is exactly what came in it. So I love the graphics more than anything. So let's display this one, and then here's another box of lights that I bought, I believe I think this was at an antique store. It wasn't very much money, and I just love the graphics, so I grabbed it, and I'm just going to leave it in this plastic that it's wrapped in. And then also I have this Christmas tree holder. I thought that was so cool, and I know the box is a little damaged, but we're just going to let that one side show, so it'll be just fine. So let's add that to the bottom of this display, and friends, I think that's just about completes this area right here. I said I completed it, but let's add this cute little snowman ornament. I've got a couple of these. I got a black one and then one in red. And I was setting up my tree and I thought, you know what? Let's take him, instead of hanging him on my tree, let's just set him right here. And I think that he's absolutely perfect there. Friends, I'm so glad that you came and you watched this video. I hope if you enjoyed this content that you will give me a thumbs up. I appreciate y'all watching to the end. And friends, I have so many more things I want to share with y'all. I'm going to try to post every Tuesday and Friday, so I hope you'll come back and watch. Friends, thank you again. Y'all bless me each week with your time. I know time is so precious, especially during the holidays, so I can't thank you enough for being here and supporting my sister and I and our channel. Thank you again for watching, and before I go, I'd just like to share with you this beautiful Bible verse. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Psalms 24:1. Friends, do you know that God not only made this earth, but He also created you? He created you to be very special. So I pray that during this holiday time that you will remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Friends, thank y'all so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And friends, we look forward to seeing the next one. Bye, y'all.